our classes are reshuffled and we have joined using our permanent IDs. So we were in CSE 1 and the unit 6 was not started there.
Right. So everyone shifted in the class?
Yes, sir. These are our permanent IDs.
Okay. So some of the students that remain in division 2, okay? Some of the students and some of the students that shifted in division 2, okay? So in last week, I started unit number 6. So, okay, no worry, I am starting again. So unit 4, 5 completed.
Yes, sir. 4 and 5 are completed.
Electromagnetism and AC fundamentals, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Sir.
so unit number 6. Okay, wait for a moment. Okay, so I am revise again, unit number 6. So I am just opening my note screen. Okay, so before starting unit number 6, just I want to share some fundamentals so you'll understand easily this unit. So here in AC series circuit, we'll be having three types of load: resistor, inductor, and capacitor. So due to combination of load, we need to consider impedance. Impedance is nothing but total load of the circuit. Okay, what is this? Is your impedance? Impedance, it is nothing but total load of the circuit. Unit is ohm. Okay. So according to the having combination of load, you can represent this impedance in rectangular form or polar form. Rectangular form that having real part as well as imaginary part, and polar form that having magnitude as well as angle. Okay, so you can represent this impedance in terms of rectangular form and polar form by having the combination of load. Okay, so for the resistive circuit, for the resistive circuit, you need to remember this V and I that always remain in phase for resistive circuit. Okay, so there is no phase difference between voltage and current. So average power for resistive circuit, that is P equal to Vi cos phi, but cos phi is 0, so P is equal to Vi. Okay, for inductive circuit, as voltage leads the current, so I am writing this VL, voltage across inductor. So voltage leads the current by an angle 90 degree. So average power, you can say this average power, okay? Average power for inductive circuit, that is equal to 0. And for capacitive circuit, as current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. Same average power for capacitive circuit is also equal to 0. Okay, so that's why we are taking the combination of load RL, RC, then RLC. Okay, so due to having this voltage and current characteristics of waveform, we are considering this combination load in the circuit for calculating this average power. Okay, so in resistive circuit, voltage and current always in phase. Okay, there is no phase difference. In inductive circuit, voltage leads the current, or you can say current lags the voltage. In capacitive circuit, current leads the voltage or voltage lags the current. Can you tell me what is leading and lagging? Anyone? What is leading quantity and what is lagging quantity? Anyone? You studied in unit number 5, leading and lagging for the phase difference.
Sir, at the same instant, the magnitude of, for example, if we take inductive circuit, the magnitude of inductive part would be greater than the current part.
Okay. Okay. Anyone, in other words, want to describe it? Suppose we have two quantity. One quantity we are taking reference quantity. Then what we can say? How we can define this? For the leading, we are denoting positive sign. Okay. For the lagging, we are denoting negative sign. So leading means when alternating quantity attains its zero and maximum value earlier with respect to a reference quantity. Okay, with respect to reference quantity, that is called the leading quantity. Lagging quantity means when alternating quantity attains its zero and maximum value later with respect to a reference quantity. A reference, it is nothing but it is starting from 0 to 360. Okay, that is your reference quantity. So it is called the lagging quantity. So this is leading and lagging quantity. So we know for the, suppose we have resistive load, then we can show this voltage and current. Like suppose I am showing like this. So it is which? It is which circuit? Resistive, inductive or capacitive? This is my V. This is my I. This is my Vm sin theta. This is my Im sin theta. This is which circuit?
Resistive.
It is
Resistive.
inductive circuit.
Resistive,
It,
sir.
Resistive circuit.
it is resistive circuit.
Resistive.
Why? Because you can see here both attaining its zero value at same time, both attaining its maximum value same time, attaining zero value at same time, maximum value at same time, and zero value at same time. Okay, so it is resistive circuit. Yes, magnitude is different, but both are attaining at same time or same instant. That is called the resistive circuit. Okay. Okay. For inductive, we know current lags the circuit. So what is our reference quantity? V equal to Vm sin theta, and current that is starting from this, okay, by an angle minus 90. This is your 90, okay, or theta. So you can write this Vm sin theta minus 90. So as this current attaining its zero value and maximum value later compared to this voltage. So I can write this I equal to Im sin theta minus 90 for lagging. And for capacitive circuit, I can draw this as current leads the voltage. So I can draw like this. This is your current attaining its zero and maximum value earlier. This is your V, this is your I. So I am sin theta plus 90. This is your V equal to Vm sin theta. Here we are not doing anything because it is reference quantity starting from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, so equal to Vm sin theta, and here current leads, so that's why it is 0 theta plus 90 degree. So this is RLC circuit that we are going to see. So this you have to remember when we consider combination of load, impedance, total load of the circuit, unit is ohm. It can be represented in rectangular form as well as polar form. Suppose we have RL combination, then how I can indicate impedance for RL circuit? For RL
Z
circuit, Z is
under
equal
root
to
R,
R
under root
plus
R.
R plus JXL. This is rectangular form. Okay, this is a rectangular form. And in magnitude form, I can write this under root R square plus XL square. Okay, and angle tan inverse XL by R. So this is polar form. Okay, for RC circuit, rectangular form maybe Z is equal to R minus JXC. As voltage lags the current, so we can write this R minus JXC as VC is equal to I into XC. Okay, so this is a rectangular form. This is Z is equal to under root R square plus XC square angle tan inverse XC by R. This is your XL. Okay, this is polar form. And for RLC series circuit, in RLC series circuit, we have three conditions. Suppose I am considering this VL greater than VC, so I can write this Z equal to R plus J XL minus XC, or polar form Z is equal to under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square angle tan inverse XL minus XC by R. Okay. So this is the calculation of impedance. Okay, for this RL, RC and RLC series circuit, you need to find power factor of the circuit. You need to find tan phi. Then you need to find this current equation, impedance equation for analysis of this all three circuit. Okay, so up to this, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so I am sharing my presentation. Okay, this is RL series circuit. So in RL series circuit, we are applying potential difference across these two component. Okay, V equal to Vm sin omega t. I is circuit current, as circuit is connected in series, so current remains same. VR and VL, so VR potential difference across R, VR equal to I into R. VL potential difference across L, VL is equal to I into XL. Okay, where XL is inductive reactance, or you can say resistance offered by inductor. Okay, so that is called your inductive reactance. XL is equal to omega into L, is equal to 2 pi F into L. Unit of XL is ohm. Okay, and F is supply frequency. Okay, as we have AC connections, so we need to consider this frequency. Okay, frequency is nothing but the number of cycles completed by an alternating quantity per second. As in DC, we haven't any cycle. So for the DC, we have frequency equal to 0, whereas here for the alternating quantity, it changes its magnitude and direction. So we need to consider cycles. So for that, we have frequency value. Now here we need to plot the phasor diagram. Yes, as we have here VR, VL, I and V. So we need to plot this for this phasor diagram. So in the phasor diagram, this current taken the reference quantity because it remains same. Now for resistive circuit, we know this VR is in phase with current. So VR taken in same line with current. Okay. Now for VL, For L, we know VL leads the current, so draw the AB line for VL, so that leads the current by an angle 90 degree. Now join VR and VL, it is phasor sum of VR and VL, so that is V. Okay, this diagonal is V, and we know this V is equal to under root of magnitude of V is equal to under root of VR square plus VL square, where VR equal to IR, I into XL, VL. So by taking I common outside, so I under root R square plus XL square. By rearranging the equations, we can write this V by I is equal to under root R square plus XL square, where under root R square plus XL square, that is Z. Okay. So we can write this I equal to V by Z. So when you consider this AC circuit, means we have this combination of loads, you can't use this V equal to I into R. Okay. If you have only resistive type load, then you can use this V equal to I into R. But for the combination of load, then you can use V equal to I into Z. Okay. So just don't make mistake in examples for considering V equal to I into R. You can find VR equal to I into R. VR, that is potential difference across R. This V is resultant voltage. Okay. So that you can write V equal to I into Z or I equal to V by Z, total circuit current, for the combination of load. From the phasor angle, tan phi is equal to VL by VR. So what is the formula for tan phi?
VL by V.
But what we can say, opposite divided by
Perpendicular.
Adjacent.
Opposite divided by adjacent. Okay, that is opposite is VL and this VR is adjacent. So what is VL by VR? So that is I into XL, I into R, I cancel. So XL by R, so phi is equal to tan inverse XL by R. And we know this is RL circuit. So current is I equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. Okay, for RL circuit, current lags the voltage. So I equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. So here for the RL series circuit, current lags the voltage. So we have voltage equation V equal to Vm sin omega t and current is here. So we need to find average power. So for that first we need to find instantaneous power and from that we will derive average power. Okay, so instantaneous power is nothing but product of voltage and current. Okay, P is equal to V into I. So by substituting this V into I, Vm sin omega t into Im sin omega t minus phi. Okay. Vm Im sin omega t minus sin omega t minus phi. Now multiply and divided by 2. Vm Im by 2 into 2 sin omega t into sin omega t minus phi. We know 2 SS, so that is C minus C. Okay. So Vm Im by 2 into cos phi minus cos omega t minus phi. So this is, we know, we can write this by separating the terms 1/2 Vm cos phi minus 1/2 Vm cos omega t minus phi. So here we have two terms. So this first term is a useful term, or you can say this is your average power, and this is your pulsating term. Okay, so that might be not useful, or we can consider this 0, second term. Okay, so by considering this pulsating term or equal to 0, we have average power P is equal to 1/2 Vm cos phi. Okay, so we know Vm by, we can rewrite this equation Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2. Okay, that is 1/2 Vm cos phi. But we know Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2, Irms is equal to Im by root 2. So it is P equal to Vi cos phi. So this is the average power equation for RL series circuit. Okay. So you need to draw the waveform for this voltage, current and power. So this is the waveform of voltage and current. Voltage reference quantity V equal to Vm sin omega t, I equal to Im sin omega t minus phi, as it lacks the voltage. And this power waveform, by multiplication of this waveform, we can draw this. Okay. So always this negative portion is smaller compared to this positive portion, because this negative portion is not useful, useless. Okay, this is called the reactive power. This negative portion, that is called the reactive power, useless power. Suppose I am drawing one dotted line at the middle, then it is called the average power, P equal to VI cos phi. And at the peak, I can draw it is apparent power, P equal to V into I, VRMS into IRMS, or I can write VRMS is equal to what in terms of maximum? VRMS is equal to what in terms of maximum?
VR
Sir,
upon root 2.
peak voltage upon root 2.
Equal to
Peak voltage upon root 2.
yes, Vm by root 2. Okay.
Yes.
So B is equal to V into I, or we can write Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2. So at the peak, we have apparent power. Suppose I am drawing this middle line at this positive line. So at this, your average power P equal to Vi cos phi, that is your true power. And this negative portion is your reactive power. This is your useless power. Okay. So that's why in the circuit, this should be minimum. Otherwise, your loss of the circuit that will be increased, means you have to pay more rupees in terms of billing. Okay. So this cos phi, you can find out this from the phasor diagram. Cos phi means what we can say?
Adjacent upon
VR
hypotenuse.
upon V.
Adjacent upon hypotenuse. Okay, VR by V. But VR we know VR equal to
IR.
IR.
I into R, and V equal to
IR.
oh, V, that is your total resultant voltage.
I
IZ.
into
IZ.
I into Z. Okay.
I said
I cancel, so you have R by Z. So cos phi is equal to R by Z. So this is your power factor of the circuit. So power factor, this lies between 0 to 1. So always we need to keep nearer to the 1. So always hello, nearer to the 1. Just mute from your end. So cos phi should be between 0 to 1, and we are keeping nearer to the 1. Okay. If your cos phi is near to the 1, means your loss of the circuit will be minimum, means you have to pay minimum rupees for the electricity billing. Okay. Generally at the home, uh, generating station, they are maintaining their power factor, because at the domestic in domestic power we are getting in terms of kilowatt, but industrial people, they have heavy machinery that is in kVA, transformer, generator. Okay. So they have to maintain this cos phi. Otherwise, if they are not maintaining this cos phi, then they have to pay the penalty as well as additional bill in terms of electricity. Okay. So we have three power in the circuit: apparent power, active power, and reactive power. So apparent power, that is maximum power of the circuit. So it is the product of RMS value of voltage and current in an AC circuit. It is called apparent power. It is denoted by S. So S is equal to V into I, and unit is volt ampere. Active power, or you can say it is true power, or it is average power. Okay. So the power which is actually consumed in AC circuit is called the active power, or it is the power which is actually dissipated in the circuit resistance, that is called the active power. So active power, it is P equal to VI cos phi, that is your true power. So that is consumed in the circuit. So unit is watt or kilowatt. Reactive power, the power drawn by the circuit due to reactive component of current. So reactive component of current, that is I sin phi. Active component of current, that is I cos phi. Okay. So due to that, it is called the reactive power. This is denoted by Q. So Q is equal to VI sin phi. It is a unit of reactive power is volt ampere reactive, VAR, or kVAR. Okay. So apparent power, S is equal to V into I. Unit is volt ampere or kVA. Active power, P is equal to VI cos phi. Unit is watt or kilowatt. And reactive power P is equal to VI sin phi. Unit is VAR, watt ampere reactive, or kilowatt ampere reactive, kVAR. Now by knowing this different power, so we should know power triangle for this. So this is the power triangle. So you can see this power triangle: active power P denoted by P, reactive power VA sin phi. This is S is equal to apparent power. Okay. So suppose I want to find cos phi from this power triangle. Then cos phi is equal to what? Cos phi is equal to
Reactive power
Active
upon
power
apparent.
upon apparent power.
active power upon apparent power. So
Apparent
active power denoted by P, apparent power denoted by S. So it is P by S. So there are three definitions of power factor, but when we consider this cos phi in the circuit, so actual definitions, that is active power to apparent power. Okay. So
Or can
by knowing this active and apparent power, we can say how much this reactive power we can reduce, or how much reactive power is there in the circuit. Okay, by knowing this relationship. So there are three definitions in for the power factor that I am showing you.
Sir, can you explain the difference again between these three powers?
Yes, yes, yes. Why not? First definition is, okay, this is power factor. First, we know power factor, that is given a P equal to VI cos phi. So we can say it is cosine of the angle. It is cosine of angle between voltage and current. Okay, so how much angle difference is there for voltage and current, that is showing. Second is, it is ratio of resistance to impedance. That is given by cos phi is equal to R by Z, and it is ratio of active power to apparent power. Okay, so this is cos phi is equal to P by S. So for the power factor correction, for the power factor corrections, we are considering this cos phi equal to P by S. So according to that, we can say this reactive power that we are reducing by different power correction method. Okay, so there are different method for power factor improvement, that is static capacitor, then synchronous condenser, and phase advancer. So by these three method, we can do the we can improve the power factor. Okay, so that we can achieve up to 0.95. One is not possible. Okay, there will be loss in the circuit, as I explained in earlier lecture. So most economical power factor, that is 0.95. Okay, so by this method, we can improve the power factor, or we can say we can reduce the reactive component of current. Okay. So up to this, any doubt?
સર ઓલા ત્રણ પાવર વચ્ચે ડિફરન્સ સમજાવી દો.
Difference is nothing, but we can represent by these three definition. Means we can calculate power factor of the circuit by these three relation. By having the relationship, by knowing this term, we can find out the power factor of the circuit by these three equations. You will get the similar. If you are having the resistance and impedance of the circuit, then you can find out this power factor. Okay. If you are having, if you know this angle between voltage and current, then you can say this phi equal to this. And if you know this active and apparent power, then you can find out this cos phi. Okay. So this is the way you can find out the cos phi of the circuit by these three relation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there is different thing, but you can find out by different way by this power factor. But why I am saying this P by S? Because we are just actually we are just calling this active, apparent, and reactive power of the circuit. That's why just I am focusing this P by S, because we need more active power in the circuit. That is your useful power. This is your maximum power of the circuit, and this should be in reduced form. Okay. Otherwise, you can also use this P equal to VA cos phi, P cos phi equal to R by Z. Okay. But for understanding this power factor concept, that's why just I'm telling this P by S. That I will show you next lecture how we can reduce this power factor, or we reduce this KVA component, KVR component. Okay, in the circuit. It is not in your syllabus, but I will show you in next lecture. Okay, so one example, we are doing just one example. A coil takes 2.5 ampere. Okay, a coil takes 2.5 ampere when connected across 200 watt 50 hertz main. The power consumed by the coil is found to be 400 watt. Calculate resistance and inductance of coil. Okay, so here which circuit is given?
Inductor and resistor.
So it is RL series circuit. Okay. So whatever formula or relation we did, so that you have to implement here. So coil takes 2.5 ampere. So I is given, then V is given 200 watt, F is given 50 hertz. Now we need to find power consumed by the coil. That is P is equal to given 400. Okay. So we need to find R and L of the circuit. So what will be your first step? Anyone have idea? So we know the relations for the power, that is current is given, voltage is given, frequency is given, P is equal to I square into R. Okay. So according to that, you can find this resistance, and by knowing this resistance, you can find out the impedance, and after find out the impedance, you can find this inductance L. Okay. So just given data is given 200, 2.5, 50, 400. Use the equation P equal to I square into R. So I is given 2.5 into R, P is given. So R is equal to 64 ohm. Okay. Now just we know impedance is equal to what? Z is equal to?
Under root of
R square plus XL square.
No, in terms of voltage and current.
V is equals to IZ.
So Z equal to?
V by I.
V by I. So just we have voltage, we have current. So find out impedance. So that is 80 ohm. Okay. Now for finding the inductance, first we need to find XL. That is your inductive reactance. Okay. So we know the relation Z is equal to under root of R square plus XL square. So we have Z, we have R. So find out XL, and from the XL find out the inductance. So XL is equal to omega L. Okay. So L is equal to XL upon omega. Okay. So likewise you can find out. So here relation is given for the Z. So we know this Z and R. So XL we can write XL is equal to 1 root R square minus Z square. Can you write this by this relation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first we found XL, and we know the XL is equal to omega L, or we can say XL is equal to 2 pi F into L. So L is equal to 48 upon 100 into pi, where pi is equal to 3.14. So it is 0.153 Henry. Okay. Any doubt in this example?
No, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir.
so I am ending this meeting here. So we'll meet on tomorrow.
So share this PDF.
Yes, sure. I will share this PDF in Microsoft Team. Okay. So
Thank
we'll
you,
leave
sir.
this.
और सर मार्क्स का क्या हुआ?
Okay.